This story starts from the desert of Mongolia. This is the largest desert in East Asia. A company came here to extract oil. But their information is wrong. There is no oil here. And now they are all going back. A plane has been sent here to take them all back. The pilot's name is Frank. He also has a co-pilot. All the goods and all the employees of both of them will take them all to Beijing. They all board the plane and leave for Beijing. And then the storm begins in this huge desert. Frank's co-pilot says what we should do. Frank says that if we go back, we will have to wait for fuel. Because we don't have fuel to fly again. And I don't know how much time it will take. That's why we have to move on. After this, Frank takes his plane further up so that he can get out of the sandstorm. But here their plane is overloaded. They get stuck in the storm. At the same time, they also try to contact with the radio. But they can't get in touch. And because of the sand, one of their engines breaks down. Frank says that I have to do an emergency landing, and he starts lowering the plane to do the emergency landing. But this landing is not that easy. Because he can't see anything ahead. And as soon as the plane goes down, the back of their plane collides with a rock. Because of which the back door opens. One of these passengers flies away and dies. And now their plane slides into the desert and goes ahead. And when the plane stops, they see that 2 more passengers have died in the plane. But they still can't go out. Because there is a storm outside. And when the storm stops, it is shown that their entire plane is buried in the sand. But after a few hours, the sand flies away from there itself. And their plane becomes visible again. All of them come out and check their food supplies. And they find out that they have a month's food and drink supply. One of them is a man. He says that I will walk out of here. Actually, they have to travel 200 miles to get out of here. Because now they are not in Mongolia, but somewhere in China. But they don't know their exact position. And neither does their radio work. That man wants to walk out of here. He says that I have done a marathon. I have done hiking and trekking. I can go from here. He is told that this is the month of July. And in the desert, the month of July is the hottest. If you drink a glass of water, in a few minutes, 10 glasses of water will come out of your body as sweat. He says that I will travel only at night. He is told that you will not know the way. Because the mountains here are magnetic. And your compass will never work. That's why you will go round and come to the same place again and again. After this, he understands that he cannot leave here alone at this time. Now on the same night, when all of them are sleeping inside the plane, a storm is going on outside. And then one of them, whose name is Davis, goes to the toilet outside. And when he comes back, his feet hit the stone. Because of which he rolls down from the sand and goes down. In the storm, he does not see anything all around. And this road gets lost. Although he shouts for help, but no one can hear his voice. When everyone wakes up in the morning, they see that one of their companions, Davis, is missing. They try to find him all around. But they don't know anything about him. Because he is buried in the sand, but everyone is worried about this. That's why the lady in them, she goes to the pilot Frank. She asks Frank that someone will come to save us here. What are the chances of this? Frank says that only 5%. But we can't get out of here. Because in the middle of the desert, we have very little food and water. And with so little food and water, if we start walking, all of this will end in 2 days. And none of us will be able to escape. Although the chances of this are very low, that someone will come to find us here. But I am an optimist. That's why I prefer to wait here. While the people outside, gradually their hopes also start breaking. That no one will come to take them here. That's why 2 of them decide to go from here. And they are also taking some water with them. That's why Frank says that no one will take the water from here. And because of the water, they get stuck in the middle. That's why the water falls. There is a man here. His name is Elliot. He comes to him. He says that I have an idea which can save all of us. I have been observing this plane for many days. And we can rebuild this plane and make another one. Frank asks him, what do you know about the plane? Elliot says that I used to design planes. Actually, no one knew much about Elliot. Because he did not work with that company. Which was extracting oil in Mongolia. One day there, Frank was with Elliot since the last 2 years. After knowing about Elliot, everyone is shocked. But now they have a hope. And they are ready to rebuild this plane. But Frank does not agree with them. He says that this can't happen. He clearly denies it. And the next morning, one of them, whose name is James, leaves from here. Then the lady here goes to find him. Frank stops her. He says that I will go. But Frank leaves to find him. He reaches to the hill where the last part of his plane collided. And the man who fell from the plane, his body is still there. But his clothes are not on his body. There are some bullet covers too. Seeing this, Frank is completely shocked. And then James comes there. James says that someone has come here before us. I came here to take my watch, which was lost in poker by this man. But now he does not have that watch. That's why he thinks that smugglers from the desert came here, who took the watch from his friend. And there are bullet covers too, because those robbers practiced shooting by shooting their friend's body. Frank asks James to go back, but James denies. He says that why don't you want to rebuild the plane? Frank says that it's because I don't want to give them false hopes. Nothing like that is going to happen. James says that everyone in this world wants love. And if we can't give love to anyone, then we should give hope to them. And if we can't give hope to anyone, then we should let them do what they want to do. After listening to James, Frank agrees to help them despite the fact that he is sure that the plane can't be built. They both come to the place where their other companions are. And now they all start building the plane. They don't work during the day because it's very hot here. That's why they work all night. But their problem increases when one night their fuel, which they have kept to burn fire, and generator, sparks fall on it while welding, and there is a big blast. Although no one dies in this blast, but all their fuel is destroyed. Now they have only that much fuel left from which they can get out of here. They can't use it anymore. It's very hot here during the day, but they don't lose hope. They start working during the day, and now when they have rebuilt the plane, they have to join a wing, and they have only one chance. If this wing falls down, then it can never come up because they don't have any crane to lift such heavy things. And now they start to leave it slowly from above, but then that chain breaks which they hold that wing. That wing goes down very fast, and it hits the plane directly. Everyone is shocked by this. They already have a companion inside the plane who has to join that wing with a board, and then he comes out. He says that I did it. Actually, when the wing slipped and went towards the plane after the chain broke, it went to the exact same position where it was supposed to go. And after joining this wing, their plane is ready, and everyone is hopeful that they will fly away from here. That's why they start dancing and enjoying. Also, they are removing the sand so that they can make a track and fly away from here. But all this is not so easy. One day an electric storm comes here in which a lot of electricity starts to fall, and the wing of their plane has petrol in it, so they all run away from there. But the elite does not go from there because he does not want to lose this plane at any cost. And when the electricity is about to fall on him, then Frank grabs him and jumps from there, because of which his life is saved. Because if anything happens to the elite, then none of them can complete the plan. They all call this plane Phonix. Phonix is actually a bird of the desert, according to Egyptian mythology, which is considered very powerful, but they still have a lot of work on Phonix, i.e. their plane. Now slowly their water is also running out. One night they see from the sand that there are some people who are sleeping in tents there. Actually, they are all smugglers who are arms suppliers who supply arms from the roads of the desert from one country to another. Frank says that we should ask them for water, although the elite refuses. But Frank and some of his companions want to ask them for water there. Frank and his companions hide behind the stone so that if there is any danger, they attack from behind. They also have a gun, and when they ask for water from those smugglers, one of them shoots one of them. Frank and his companions shoot them from behind and kill their men. But a smuggler manages to escape from there. Although Frank had a chance to shoot him from behind, but he did not shoot because he is not a murderer. Here James sees a watch in the hand of a smuggler among the dead smugglers, which was with his friend who fell off the plane and died. It means that they are the same smugglers who had come here before, and these smugglers had shot their dead companion. It means that they were very dangerous smugglers. A smuggler escapes from them, he is injured, and they all bring him to their plane. Although some people want him to be killed because he killed his companion. But Frank refuses to do this, and there are arguments between everyone. Then the elite shoots him, because of which there are arguments between Frank and the elite. The elite blames Frank. He says that you were a pilot, because of you we are stuck here, and because of you one of our companion died because I refused. Still you went there, and Frank gets angry. He punches the elite, and now the elite gets angry because his ego gets hurt. He says that I will not make the plane. I have done all the work I had to do. I work equal to 10 people here, and you all rest. Kelly comes to him, and she says that without you we can't make the plane, we need you. He says that if everyone requests me, then only I will make the plane, and everyone has to request him, even Frank. Frank says that you are the boss here, please finish this work. After this, the elite agrees, and once again they all join to finish the work of the plane. One day they see through the binoculars that the smuggler who ran away has reached here with his companion, but they don't move ahead because they know that they have weapons. Actually, the weapons of the smugglers are now with them, but these smugglers know that their drinking water and food will finish very soon, and when they become completely weak, then they will attack them. There they start doing their work, and their work ends, and then Frank gets a magazine in which there are many models of planes, and seeing these models, the elite has made the model of this plane, and here everyone knows that the planes which the elite used to make were actually the planes of children. He used to make small models, although they were about to fly, but till now he has never made a big plane. Everyone gets angry about this, especially Aeon. He puts a gun on the head of the elite. He says that you have been fooling us for so many weeks. This plane is never going to fly, because you have never made such a big plane, which is going to fly. But the elite is sure. He says that this plane will fly, although we used to make small planes, but they used to be remote controlled. They need more balance. Frank stops Aeon, and that's when the storm starts, and when the winds are strong, then the plane which they have made, after so many weeks, starts to rise in the air, and everyone understands that this plane will fly. The hope which was lost in their hearts, once again it rises, but this is the storm of the desert, because of which the plane is completely covered in sand. After the storm ends, everyone gets disheartened, because they still don't believe that this plane can take them all and fly, but Frank says that we all have made it with hard work, and we will fly it from here. They all take the plane out of the sand, and drag it to the place where there is no sand. After that they start the plane starts, but soon it stops. They try many times, and finally their plane starts. After hearing the sound of the engine, the smugglers start coming towards them. They are coming towards them with their guns on their horses. They all get on the plane, and hang with the wing. Actually, the design of their plane is such that there is no place for anyone to sit inside. They have made a small plane from a very big airplane, and now their plane starts moving forward on the runway. The smugglers behind them are constantly shooting at them, but none of them gets shot, and then their runway ends. Smugglers think that they are all dead, but the next moment there, Phonix flies from the sky, and it starts flying in the sky. All of them get very happy, because they have succeeded, and in this way, from the mouth of death, from the dangerous desert, from where it is impossible to get out, and finally we get to see the photos of all of them are very happy with their family. Frank and his co-pilot open their own airlines, which they call Phonix, and the photo of the elite is published in a magazine, which has a question mark. NASA's New Hope means that he works for NASA. With this, the movie ends. Which movie do you want to hear the next story? Tell me in the comments, and if you like this video, then like this video, and if you want to watch more videos, then subscribe this channel.